The taxi crunched up the long drive. Dust rose from the gravel. Sunlight, dappled by leaves, danced on the car. I took a deep breath. The air was warm, fragrant. This was it, my year in Bordeaux. The taxi stopped. A large, elegant house stood before me. Stone walls glowed golden in the sun. Green shutters framed tall windows. Vines, heavy with grapes, climbed the walls. This was the chateau, my home for the next 12 months. A woman hurried down the steps. Her smile was wide and welcoming. "Bienvenue," she exclaimed, her hand outstretched. "Welcome to Chateau Lafitte." This was Madame Dubois, the owner of the vineyard. Her warmth and enthusiasm were infectious. I already felt at home. I stepped inside. Coolness enveloped me. The air was filled with the scent of old wood and aged wine. Sunlight streamed through the open door. It illuminated a grand hallway, adorned with family portraits and antique furniture. This was the beginning of an adventure. I could feel it in my bones. Spring in Bordeaux was a painter's palette, a symphony of colors and life that seemed to burst forth from every corner of the landscape. The rolling hills, dotted with vineyards, were a testament to nature's artistry. Vivid greens, delicate pinks, and bright yellows splashed across the landscape, creating a vibrant tapestry that was both breathtaking and humbling. Each hue told a story of renewal and growth, a promise of the bounty to come. The vines, dormant for months, were now bursting with life. Their once bare branches were now adorned with new shoots, a sign that the cycle of life was beginning anew. It was a sight that filled the heart with hope and anticipation. Tiny green shoots, like emerald beads, adorned the branches. These delicate beginnings held the promise of future harvests, a reminder of the vineyard's resilience and the enduring power of nature. The air was alive with activity. Workers moved through the rows of vines, their hands deftly tending to each plant. The vineyard was a hive of industry, a place where every action was a step towards a fruitful future. Birds sang in the newly leafed trees, their melodies a joyful accompaniment to the work being done. Their songs were a celebration of the season, a reminder that life was flourishing all around. Bees buzzed lazily amongst the wildflowers that carpeted the vineyard floor. These industrious insects played a crucial role in the vineyard's ecosystem, their presence a sign of a healthy, thriving environment. The scent of freshly turned earth filled the air, a rich, loamy aroma that spoke of fertility and growth. It was a smell that promised abundance, a reminder of the vineyard's deep connection to the land. It was a time of rebirth, of renewal. The vineyard, like the world around it, was awakening from its winter slumber, ready to embrace the warmth and light of spring. We spent our days tending to the vines, each task a labor of love. From dawn till dusk, we worked the land, our efforts a testament to our commitment to the vineyard and its future. Tying new shoots, pruning old branches, and ensuring each plant received the perfect amount of sunshine. These tasks were essential, each one a step towards ensuring a bountiful harvest. The work was hard, but rewarding. Each day brought its own challenges, but also its own rewards. The satisfaction of seeing the vines thrive, of knowing that our efforts were making a difference, was immeasurable. Each day brought visible progress, a sense of satisfaction that came from working with nature. The vineyard was a living testament to our hard work, a place where our efforts bore fruit, both literally and figuratively. Evenings were spent enjoying the fruits of the region. After a long day of work, there was nothing more satisfying than sitting down to a meal made from the land we tended. Simple meals of crusty bread, local cheese, and robust red wine enjoyed under the stars. These moments were a celebration of the vineyard's bounty, a time to relax and savor the fruits of our labor. The air was filled with laughter and the clinking of glasses. These sounds were the soundtrack to our evenings, a reminder of the joy and camaraderie that came from working together. It was a time for friends and family, for sharing stories and savoring the simple pleasures of life. The vineyard was more than just a place of work. It was a place of community, of connection, and of joy. Summer in Bordeaux was a symphony of light and heat. The season transformed the landscape into a vibrant tapestry of colors and sensations. The vineyards, stretching as far as the eye could see, were bathed in a golden hue, their rows of vines standing tall and proud under the relentless sun. The sun, a blazing ball of fire, hung high in the sky. Its intense rays beat down on the earth, creating an almost palpable energy that seemed to infuse every living thing with life and vigor. The sky, a brilliant blue canvas, was dotted with the occasional wispy cloud, offering little respite from the heat. It bathed the vineyard in golden light, casting long shadows from the rows of vines. The interplay of light and shadow created a mesmerizing pattern on the ground, a dance of contrast that changed with the movement of the sun. As the day progressed, the shadows grew longer, adding a sense of depth and dimension to the landscape. The air shimmered with heat, creating mirages above the sun-baked earth. The heat waves distorted the view, making the distant vines appear to waver and dance. It was a surreal sight, as if the vineyard itself was alive and breathing, responding to the intense heat of the summer sun. The vines, now laden with bunches of green grapes, thrived in the warmth. The grapes, still young and firm, were a promise of the bounty to come. Each cluster was a testament to the hard work and dedication of the vineyard workers, who tended to the vines with care and precision. Their leaves, thick and green, provided welcome shade from the sun's relentless rays. The foliage was lush and vibrant, a protective canopy that shielded the grapes from the harshest of the sun's glare. It was a delicate balance, ensuring the grapes received just the right amount of sunlight to ripen perfectly. The grapes themselves, plump and juicy, promised a bountiful harvest. They hung heavily on the vines, their skins glistening in the sunlight. The sight of the ripening grapes was a source of joy and anticipation, a reminder of the rewards that awaited at the end of the season. The pace of life slowed in the summer heat. The vineyard workers, accustomed to the rhythm of the seasons, adjusted their routines to cope with the soaring temperatures. There was a sense of stillness in the air, a quiet that was only broken by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant hum of insects. Work in the vineyard was done in the cool of the morning or the late afternoon. These were the hours when the sun's intensity was lessened and the air was more bearable. The workers moved with purpose, their tasks performed with a practiced efficiency that spoke of years of experience. Midday was a time for siestas, for escaping the sun's fierce glare. The tradition of taking a break during the hottest part of the day was a necessity, a way to preserve energy and avoid the worst of the heat. It was a time for rest and recuperation, a chance to recharge before the work resumed in the cooler hours. It was a time for relaxation and rejuvenation. The vineyard provided a serene backdrop for these moments of respite, its beauty offering a soothing balm to the weary workers. The simple pleasures of a cool drink, a shaded spot, and the gentle rustle of leaves were enough to restore the spirit. Evenings brought a welcome respite from the heat. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the temperature dropped, and a cool breeze swept through the vineyard. The changing light painted the landscape in soft, warm tones, creating a tranquil and inviting atmosphere. As the sun dipped below the horizon, the air cooled, carrying with it the scent of honeysuckle and lavender. These fragrant blooms added a sensory richness to the evening, their sweet aromas mingling with the earthy scent of the vineyard. It was a time of day that invited reflection and appreciation of the natural beauty that surrounded them. It was a time for gathering on the terrace, a glass of chilled rosé in hand, and watching the stars emerge in the deepening twilight. The terrace, with its panoramic view of the vineyard, was the perfect spot to unwind and enjoy the simple pleasures of life. As the sky darkened and the stars began to twinkle, there was a sense of peace and contentment, a fitting end to a day in the heart of Bordeaux summer. Autumn in Bordeaux was a celebration of nature's bounty. The vineyards, stretching as far as the eye could see, were a testament to the hard work and dedication of the people who tended them. Each vine, heavy with grapes, told a story of a year's worth of care and attention. The landscape was a patchwork of colors, with each row of vines displaying a different hue, from deep purples to vibrant greens. It was a sight to behold, a true masterpiece painted by nature herself. The air, crisp and cool, carried the scent of ripe grapes and damp earth. Morning mists would often blanket the vineyards, adding a mystical quality to the scene. As the sun rose, the mist would lift, revealing the lush green vines and the plump, juicy grapes that hung from them. The soil, rich and fertile, was the foundation upon which this bounty was built. It was a reminder of the cycle of life, of growth and renewal. The leaves on the vines had transformed into a kaleidoscope of colors. Each leaf, with its unique pattern and shade, added to the overall beauty of the vineyard. The colors were a signal that the time for harvest was near, a visual cue that the grapes were ready to be picked. It was a time of anticipation and excitement, as the fruits of a year's labor were about to be gathered. Ruby red, burnt orange, and golden yellow leaves danced in the gentle breeze. The wind, though cool, was refreshing, carrying with it the promise of a bountiful harvest. the leaves, rustling softly, created a symphony of sounds that was both soothing and invigorating. It was a reminder of the beauty and power of nature, and of the delicate balance that existed within the vineyard. The time for harvest had arrived. The vineyard, usually a place of quiet and solitude, was now bustling with activity. Workers, armed with baskets and shears, moved through the rows of vines with purpose and determination. Each grape, carefully picked, was a testament to their skill and dedication. It was a time of hard work, but also of pride and satisfaction. The vineyard buzzed with activity. The sound of laughter and conversation filled the air as workers shared stories and jokes. The rhythmic snipping of shears was a constant backdrop, a reminder of the task at hand. The workers, though tired, were fueled by a sense of camaraderie and shared purpose. It was a time of connection, of coming together to achieve a common goal. Workers, their faces flushed with excitement and anticipation, moved through the rows of vines with practiced ease. Each movement was deliberate and precise, a result of years of experience. Their hands, though calloused, were gentle, treating each grape with care. The workers took pride in their work, knowing that their efforts would result in a bountiful harvest. Their hands, calloused but gentle, carefully snipped bunches of grapes from their stems. Each cut was made with precision, ensuring that the grapes remained intact. The workers moved quickly, but with care, knowing that each grape was precious. It was a delicate balance, requiring both strength and finesse. The air was filled with the sounds of harvest. The rustling of leaves, the snipping of shears, and the hum of conversation created a symphony of sounds. It was a reminder of the hard work and dedication that went into the harvest, and of the joy and satisfaction that came with it. The chatter of workers, the rhythmic snipping of shears, and the rumble of tractors hauling trailers laden with grapes. The vineyard was a hive of activity, with everyone working together to bring in the harvest. The tractors, though noisy, were a vital part of the process, transporting the grapes from the vineyard to the winery. It was a well-coordinated effort, with each person playing a crucial role. It was a time of hard work, but also of joy and camaraderie. The workers, though tired, were filled with a sense of accomplishment. They had worked together to achieve a common goal, and their efforts had paid off. The vineyard, once again, had produced a bountiful harvest, and it was a time to celebrate. Each evening, as the sun set, we gathered in the courtyard to celebrate the day's harvest. The sky, painted with hues of pink and orange, provided a stunning backdrop for our celebrations. The courtyard, usually quiet, was now filled with laughter and conversation. It was a time to relax and enjoy the fruits of our labor. The air was filled with the aroma of freshly baked bread and roasting meat. Long tables were set up, laden with food and wine. The workers, now relaxed, enjoyed a well-deserved feast. The food prepared with love and care was a testament to the bounty of the land. It was a time to nourish both body and soul. We ate, drank, and danced under the stars, sharing stories and laughter. The music, lively and upbeat, filled the air, inviting everyone to join in the celebration. The workers, though tired, found renewed energy in the joy of the moment. It was a time to let go of the day's worries and to simply enjoy the company of friends and family. It was a time to give thanks for the bounty of the land. The vineyard, once again, had provided for us, and we were grateful. The harvest was a reminder of the cycle of life, of growth and renewal. It was a time to reflect on the past year and to look forward to the future. The vineyard, with its beauty and bounty, was a source of inspiration and hope. Winter in Bordeaux was a time of quiet contemplation. The vineyard, stripped bare of its leaves, stood in stark beauty against the backdrop of the wintry sky. The vines, now dormant, looked like gnarled old men, their branches reaching towards the heavens. A hush had fallen over the land. Gone were the sounds of summer, the buzzing of insects, the chirping of birds, the laughter of workers. The only sound was the wind whistling through the bare branches of the vines. We spent our days pruning the vines, preparing them for the coming spring. It was meticulous work, requiring patience and a keen eye. Each cut was crucial, shaping the vine for the next growing season. Evenings were spent huddled around the fireplace in the chateau's cozy living room. A fire crackled merrily in the hearth, casting a warm glow over the room. We sipped glasses of rich, full-bodied red wine, the product of previous harvests. It was a time for reflection, for planning, for dreaming of the year to come.